Hey, we've got some live feedings and we got some fangs in your face coming up.
Fangs in your face. Subscribe now.
Hey guys, we got a couple of live feedings. We got some fangs in your face. We're going to feed the King Cobra, and we're kind of thanking our generous supporters feeding their sponsored snakes. This is kind of an educational video, guys. We're going to talk about a lot of medications that are derived from snake venoms, and just how important snakes are to the ecosystem, along with how they're medically significant, the venom that is. But this is going to be a fun one, but we're going to learn some things. I got to put this puff adder back. I just had to do a quick clean. And of course, they always poop right before we get ready to film. So we're going to put this big one back in. And let me tell you, you know, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but let me tell you, you know, we have been running ourselves ragged, trying to find the right property, trying to find the right thing in our price range, trying to find so we can get our facility open. I mean, we want to educate the public about venomous animals, about reptiles in general. And you know, we don't just want to open a facility where people can walk in and see snakes through glass and stuff like that. We want to see people actually have an experience where they walk away with something that they'll remember for the rest of their lives. Something like that, okay? And learn something about this animal. Now, this is a puff adder, the Bitis arietan. This is an African viperid. And learn something about this animal that they will never forget, like something really interesting, okay? This snake, highly cytotoxic venom, you know, along with that cryptic coloration, I mean, it hides itself very well. But what's unique about this snake is he can mask his own scent. He can hide his own scent. How cool is that? I mean, that's like alien technology, right? And that is a whopper of a puff adder. That's a big one, okay? And that's a big old girl right there. And, you know, with our facility, we want to do things cutting edge. You know, we have got a lot of experience training military, you know, also training snake handling courses, and we want to provide something to South Carolina that other facilities don't. And not only with our breeding programs, with all the venomous snakes that we breed, that we supply different labs and stuff with, we want our facility to actually be a complete educational center where people can come take a course in venomous snake handling, where first responders and firemen and law enforcement can come take a course in venomous snake handling, venomous snake identification, how to treat a bite, and also to have a damn sanctuary, to have enough space to take in confiscated animals or unwanted animals. Because let me tell you, what happens a lot of times is if animals get confiscated or they're unwanted, they get euthanized. And we can place them animals in other facilities, venom labs, research facilities, zoos, that actually can use them animals to do some good instead of euthanizing them. You know, but we can be a holdover facility for them animals, save their lives and put them to good use. We want to do things that will greatly be appreciated by our community and our state. So, but we're meeting a lot of opposition. So if there's any angel investors out there or philanthropists that want to help us out, hit us up, email us. We got a lot of plans and we're trying to get it all done. So we've been really busy and we haven't been able to do a bunch of videos, but we hope y'all enjoy this one. This one's going to be a fun one, but we're going to learn some stuff about venom and about medications and about all the new cool stuff that's coming out. Snakes, you know, they have been probably the most despised animal on earth. And truly, snakes are not evil creatures. Some can be a little grumpy, some can be very passive. People that fear snakes and people that hate snakes, and it's purely just out of not knowing. And it's people fear what they don't know. And they see a snake and they've been taught their whole lives that they're evil, they're mean, they'll hurt you, they'll kill you. And they don't really understand that animal and what its importance is to our ecosystem, first and foremost. And then to us as humans, they are offering a whole bevy of new medications. So, I mean, the things that are being discovered here lately, I mean, different peptides and enzymes that they're extracting from snake venoms and applying it to surgical procedures, applying it to different medications. It's outstanding. I mean, so we're going to try to educate y'all about some new medications that are out there and some things that are kind of in the cut that are being worked on, and things that are actually going to be maybe made available in the near future. So we're going to get right with it, y'all, and jump right into some of the feedings. We've got a couple of live feedings we're going to do, and we've got a few fangs in your face. We did some special bushmasters for our supporters, and we're going to feed the King Cobra. So let's jump right in, y'all. We're going to start out with some bushmasters and some fangs in your face.
Fangs in your face.
Okay, Andrew Vesloski, this is your snake brother. This is the Lachesis muta. This is the South American Bushmaster. Oh, here he comes. Oh, and there he, oh, nice bite. And sometimes he'll grab it again, but he's one of them bushmasters that usually does a double tap, and he might just go ahead and drill it again and hang on to it. Here he comes. Come on, big guy. There you go. Oh yes. Alright, big guy. We're not gonna torment you too much, as he might just tap it a third time. He's in a mood today. Okay. That wasn't defensive, that was predatory, so we're gonna go ahead and let that boy enjoy his rat. But that's your ward, Andrew. He's a big old boy. He's actually a big gentle boy. But that is the Lachesis muta. Interesting, we were just reading an article where they're actually devising some type of a tablet made out of muta venom for women, and it's an ingestible tablet for hormones somewhere down there in South America. But we'll try to find some more interesting research on that and talk about that in a later video. But there's your snake, brother. Okay, and this one goes out to our brother James Chase. He has sponsored one of our large adult bushmasters. This is a Lachesis stenophrys. And you can see we've got him separated out in the feeding tub. We can't feed him in there with his big females because we don't want an accident to happen. And here he comes. He's coming in hot. Here he comes. Oh, yeah! The Bushmasters deliver the coolest strikes. They are so heat driven. They are heat seeking missiles. And this is a sizable male. He is about 6 foot. And we have to separate him out from the girls while we're feeding, because the girls are ravenous right now. You can't get anything near them. They'll end up biting him, biting the rat.
anything that moves, so we got to separate them out when we're feeding them right now. But James Chase, there's your sponsor animal, brother. And that is a very beautiful Lachesis stenophrys. It's your Central American Bushmaster.
Man, those were some good Bushmaster strikes, right? But now we're going to jump over and we're going to feed King Diesel, our Malaysian King Cobra. King Diesel here, he's a captive bred and born Malaysian King Cobra. And what's interesting is, you know, there is a drug right now, and it's in the preclinical stages. It's called Prohanin, and Prohanin is going to be used to treat chronic pain. And okay, Diesel, come up here and get it. No, you come for it. There you go. Hey, it's right there. There you go, buddy. Attaboy. And it's going to be used to treat chronic pain once it gets finalized. But and it's also, I mean, it'll be a pain reliever that is a non-opioid. So, you know, it will not be addictive. It's, you know, I've been trying to find a lot of information on it, and since it's in preclinical, we really can't find a whole bunch about it at the moment. But interesting, right? I mean, King Cobra venom. Who'd have thunk it? But the drug will be called Prohanin. Preclinical stages. Chronic pain. And we all live in pain in some sort or another, right? So you may hear some rumbling. The damn puff adders are going crazy today next to Diesel's cage here. It's the pair that they're actually trying to copulate right now. But so we're going to give Diesel some snacks today. And we keep Diesel on rodents and snakes, and I like to give them snakes periodically, but we've run out of snakes. So that's why it's important to be able to have your King Cobra trained to eat rodents also, and other things. I mean, after he puts on some size, we'll have him eating turkey necks and some other things along with rodents and snakes. But because snakes as a food source is really hard to keep in stock, so you know, what do? You run out of snakes, and if your king isn't trained to eat rodents, he doesn't eat. So, and rodents don't hurt him. I'm gonna tell you, I've had kings my whole life, and I've had kings that were exclusively rodent eaters, and that's what they preferred, and they lived 20 years, no problem. But you know, in the wild, these snakes are consuming other snakes that eat rodents, so they're kind of getting both. So beneficial for them to eat rodents and snakes, but you got to have them eating rodents, y'all, because when you run out of snakes, you can't let them go hungry. So, but of course, he pulled that up into his little hide there, but he'll be back out here in a second for another one, and we'll give him a string of these. We'll give him, like, he'll eat 5, 6 of them in a row, and that'll constitute a meal for him, which he does that about every 4 to 5 days. Diesel is one of them snakes that is an eating machine. And you can see Diesel here is a little bit anxious. He's gonna look at the camera for a minute, but Diesel's got a new sugar daddy. Diesel has him a new sponsor, and it's my mate from down under. His name is Paul Grech, and Paul takes care of Diesel's needs. He actually pays to feed Diesel, and it's a great thing for Diesel because Diesel gets an allowance now, so he won't run out of mice. And I'll tell you, Diesel can demolish some mice. He can smoke 30, 40 mice in a month like it's nothing. But and as he grows, that number grows, and then it'll move up to rats and more snakes and turkey necks. But Paul, this is your ward, brother. Paul Grech, thank you, brother. But that's your adopted child right there. This is King Diesel. Listen to him huffing in there. And now I'll play tug of war with kings like this a little bit. It's kind of good for their psyche. It's part of their natural process. If they were killing and eating another snake or a different prey source, it would be struggling to get away from it. And that's what they do. They kind of grab it and hang on to it until the venom subdues their prey, and then they go ahead and start to consume it once it's incapacitated. So there we go. All right, Diesel. And y'all know, I mean, I talk to my snakes, and I'm basically talking to myself, but these snakes are not pets in no way, shape, or form. I mean, we're raising Diesel up for an exhibit animal. He will be an ambassador for his species once we open to the public. He will be that King Cobra that everybody's fascinated by. They can come see him behind a safe exhibit, and we can educate people about King Cobras and their importance and for what they are to the ecosystem. And King Cobras are getting few and far between. I mean, they're actually getting some protection in their native countries, and in some other areas they're not. So, and of course, the King Cobra Conservancy is working hard to educate people on King Cobras and their importance and everything like that, headed up by Ron Whitaker. But awesome. Diesel's gonna go ahead and suck that one down, and we're gonna probably give him 3 or 4 more. But Paul Grech, that's your little buddy right there. And you can see Diesel is done with that one now. Let's make him work for it a little bit. Come on, buddy. He's got a mouse tail hanging out of his mouth. Yeah, get that down. And he's a very inquisitive little guy. Kings are fairly intelligent snakes. They'll actually assess a situation before they make a move. Give me my rat. And he's about got that one down, and he's ready for another one. Come on, buddy. One more. There you go. Nice and gentle. We'll let him go ahead and eat that one, and then we'll let him come out and play a little bit. He's going to want to look at the camera. That's just what he does. He wants to know everything that's going on. He's very inquisitive. Alright, he's got his last one down for the day. Let's see if he comes up and makes an appearance in front of the camera, which he normally does. Here he comes. He's like, what is that thing, huh? You just back it up there, Bubba. Funny little guy. He actually wanted to come over and investigate me. Diesel, you're a funny dude. He's like, I'm gonna go climbing. And nothing like a cool drink of water after a nice big meal. You're a funny dude. The little king, he's a character, right? He's getting big. He's due for a bigger sized mouse. But anyways, we're gonna jump into, and we're gonna do a couple live feedings, y'all. So I need to feed little Evelyn. We're gonna feed a little Crotalus tzabcan. I'm gonna do one of the ravus, probably the female. The male just ate, but the female, she's getting ready to have babies, so I don't know if she'll eat or not, but she might. So we're gonna try her, and we're gonna do a mugeni. So strap in, because here comes some live feedings, you guys. this is little Evelyn. And this animal is Dan McCarty. This is your ward, brother. And little Evelyn is a problem child. She refuses to eat frozen thawed rodents, so we have to feed her live. And she's a very healthy animal. Oh, and that's going to be about all she wrote. She's a healthy animal. She just prefers to eat live prey. And this is a Crotalus tzabcan. But it's interesting because, you know, these animals that everybody fears so much, I mean, they hold secrets. I mean, this, like, the venom from this animal could be a life-saving medication someday. I mean, and there's being so much done. I mean, since the damn production of Captopril, which is it's a snake-derived drug. It's literally from the Bothrops jararaca. It's used to treat hypertension, you know, and that was put out in the 80s. You know, since then there's just a lot of studies going on with snake venoms, and there are a handful of snake-derived drugs on the market now, and we're going to talk about some of that today. But this little rascal here, she's a little destroyer. She's a very beautiful little rattlesnake. And she is a pisser, let me tell you. She has knockdown power. She dispatches prey very quickly. So we're going to let her do her thing. Let her eat this rodent in peace. She's so beautiful, she's going to wind up being a display animal here at Venom Central when we open our facility to the public. And we can see little girl starting to swallow. But it's just fascinating what venom has to offer us, and it's just got me so fascinated. And you know, for me to do my part in this, I'm not a damn scientist that can extract enzymes and peptides out of venom, but at least I have a green thumb in breeding these animals, and I can supply the labs and the other facilities that do this important work with good captive bred specimens. I mean, captive bred specimens always do better in a lab setting than a wild caught one. And they may be able to use some of my captive bred specimens for years on end. So that's our little contribution to mankind. But the state of South Carolina wants to maybe take that away from me, so we don't know. And little girl's just about done. So we're going to move on to another animal. This is the Crotalus ravus. This is the Mexican Pygmy Rattlesnake. And this just happens to be one of our gravid females. And let me tell you, this is also a medically significant animal. And this animal is sponsored by one of the Venom Squad, which chooses to remain anonymous. And thank you for your help with this animal. But we're going to go ahead and give her a live prey item. She's due for one. She hasn't had one in quite a while. Let's see how the little girl does. And she may not want to feed, being this close to, she's probably pretty close to getting ready to have these babies. She just shed her skin, and usually it's a month out after that. But so we'll see how this goes. Let's see if she's hungry. And what this little guy is contributing to mankind, this actual species of rattlesnake, this little Mexican Pygmy rattlesnake, you know, there is like, we're frightfully close to being, you know, running out of like effective antibiotics to treat certain ailments, like say staph infection and different like pseudo gout, and there's just different infections that are just really resistant to antibiotics. So they've actually found certain little peptides in this snake's venom that is really antimicrobial, and it kills these pathogenic infectious diseases. So I mean, it's really remarkable that they're able to extract that damn peptide and that enzyme and apply it to a use, such as an antibiotic. So I believe that one is still in clinical trials, but it's pretty neat. I mean, you know, because you know, pathogenic bacteria is strong stuff, and there's a lot of different. Oh, there she goes. There's a lot of different infections that are just really resistant to, you know, modern day antibiotics. So, you know, they're constantly trying to come up with a stronger antibiotic. And who knows, it just may be the next drug that's on the market derived from a damn snake venom. So we choose to breed this species in captivity. Okay, for our next animal, y'all, since our little mama to be, Crotalus ravus, the Mexican pygmy rattlesnake, wasn't in feed mode today, I think she's getting ready to have them babies, so she's that close where she won't take a feed. But now this is the Brazilian Lancehead. This is the Bothrops mageni, and this is a snake that we work with here. We actually breed this species readily here in captivity for Venom Labs only, and we're going to go ahead and give this animal a live feed today. And these things are pretty ferocious. All your Bothrops species are, and she's exhibiting that bite and hang on technique, which the females do 98% of the time, especially as adults, and the babies do it 100%. So, and I've been studying this ontogenic change in the venom capacity from babies to adult also, and feeding behavior. But what's interesting is that this is another of the medically significant venomous snakes. Now, what this snake attributes to humanity, it's a drug that is on the market now. It's actually not a drug. It's used in a surgical application. It's called Vivostat, okay, and it's from the Bothrops mageni, and it's a fibrogen, which actually it's used in surgical applications as like a sealant to seal up different arteries and veins and things of that nature. It's a sealant that's used in surgical applications. So it's a pretty important drug that is used in surgery, which is totally fascinating. But and there's a lot of other studies going on with BMV, which is Bothrops mageni venom. So we choose to breed this particular species in captivity for Venom Labs and for other institutions that research the venom of this animal. And she dispatched that prey pretty quickly. It's amazing that, I mean, with all the proteins and enzymes, you know, compounded in this snake's venom, that they're able to extract like certain peptides and enzymes and apply them to different areas of healthcare. And she didn't waste no time. This is a youngster. I produced this snake. She's a 2-year-old now. And she'll get put on the breeding line. She'll reach maturity in probably another 2 years, and she'll be old enough and mature enough to reproduce. But that is the Bothrops mageni, the Brazilian Lancehead. Now this snake, on the other hand, its venom it can be lethal to humans. And it contains just a mixture of proteins and enzymes that are dangerous. You know, mild toxins. It's very hemolytic, but we believe that it may even contain some high concentrations of cytotoxins. But it's definitely necrotic. The venom from this animal is highly necrotic, and it causes severe tissue damage. So it's a serious player, and these animals are to be respected and handled carefully, and they must be treated with the utmost respect. I mean, this is not a pet. None of my animals are pets. This animal is bred for a specific reason, and that's it. And as far as keeping them in captivity, I mean, you really got to be diligent and safe and have your own antivenom and do the right thing while keeping this type of creature under your care. And there's a very effective antivenom that we keep on hand that is made by the Institute of Clodomiro Picado, and it's a polyvalent antivenom, and it covers your Bothrops species, and it covers your Lachesis species, and also your Central and South American rattlesnake species. And that actual antivenom is derived from several different snakes. So it's a very good product, and we keep a pretty good stock of it here on hand. And we pray to God we never need to use it, but we practice safety first. So, I mean, 38 years in this field, I've never suffered a bite, and my track record proves it. And this kind of work can be done safely and professionally. And what really irks me is when I hear people say, "Oh, it's not if you get bit, it's when you get bit." You know, I've been doing this 38 years. I've dealt with the most dangerous venomous snakes in the world in them 38 years, and I've never suffered a bite. And usually the people that say that are the ones that are unprofessional and people that shouldn't have these kind of animals in their possession. But enough of a rant. This little girl is just about done with her meal. And the only reason anybody has an excuse to be bitten by a venomous snake is an accident in the field or venom extractors. Those guys put their lives on the line every day extracting venom from these animals, and they are up close and personal, and they are the only people that put themselves at risk for a bite. I mean, and that's an honorable profession, and those guys are truly heroes in my eyes. I mean, they put their lives in their hands every day. Oh, one of our lights just went out. But for a keeper or a breeder or somebody who exhibits animals, there is no reason to suffer a bite from these animals. Not with all of the great tools and system and protocols that we have in place to handle these animals safely and efficiently. Interesting stuff, right? I mean, not only for pharmaceutical and surgical needs, I mean, there's also homeopathic things being made for like over-the-counter purchases. I mean, it's crazy. There's like a new rub. It's made from cobra venom to rub out for pain. And the one that kind of cracks me up is the one for hot flashes, for women that are suffering from hot flashes and menopause. It's made from Lachesis muta, from a bushmaster. Imagine that, right? But neat stuff. So for more of this kind of content, come on back to Venom Central. If you're new to the channel, hit that V logo thing and subscribe now. This is Willie. We're checking out. Later.